Hello. Hello there. Welcome back to the Agostino Zinga Show with your host, Agostino Zinga, and this is episode number 809. That is Ocho Zero Nueve with your host, Agostino Zinga, coming at you live and direct from an undisclosed location somewhere in the depths of London. I hope you are well wherever this live stream may find you. I hope you are doing swimmingly. I really hope you are doing swimmingly. How am I? All good, all things considered, I cannot lie. All good, all things considered, I cannot lie. I'm just trying to live the life of Riley, having a good time, and all of those things in between. I've actually just come back from the gymnasium. Had a good little session in the old gymnasium, not gonna lie. Unfortunately, I ended up losing some of my weightlifting chalk, so I have to buy that again. I feel like I'm buying weightlifting chalk like every other week. I'm losing or misplacing flipping weightlifting chalk, and it's annoying because I also don't want to be the guy that wears like fingerless weightlifting gloves. But sometimes my the palms of my hands get flipping ripped up and stuff from how much weight I'm flipping lifting over my head, cleaning and jerking, pressing, all of that malarkey. So these last couple of days, I have been taking some of my mechanic gloves. I have these mechanic gloves that I actually bought to do like DJ stuff with. I was going to do like little sets and kind of zoom in on the hands and have them playing. It's a little bit cringy to do it like that because it kind of gives you the idea that I'm thinking DJing is sort of like some, some handsy, trade-man-y type of work when really you're just pressing Q and play. But I thought that'd be fun. But I did take some with me anyway, just in case, but I didn't need to use them. So I always have them in my backpack. I always have these like safety workwear gloves in my backpack just in case, but I do need to go out there and flip and repurchase a bag of some weightlifting chalk because I always seem to flip and misplace it. And and of course, if you're somebody that happens to be in a gym and you happen to see a bag, because I keep my weightlifting chalk pretty well organized. Imagine you walk into a gym and you see a weightlifting chalk in a really nice Ziploc sandwich bag, very nicely kept and stuff. You're gonna be like, wow, amazing. You'd never buy it, but you take it for free. If somebody left it, right, you fucking, a little 5-finger discount. So I don't even blame people for taking it. And I didn't even bother asking the person at the gym, like, lost property, oh, excuse me, anybody hand my chalk in? Because the likelihood of somebody handed it in, zero. So I'm just gonna keep it moving, take the L, keep it moving and take the L. You know what also is funny? I saw earlier today somebody getting their phone jacked. Yes, I did. And I don't really live in like a cool part of London. I don't really live in a hip part of London. I don't really live in an expensive part of London. I live in the ghetto, in the slums, in the ends. There's loads of crackheads walking around the street. There's like a station where these guys just basically turn the outside of the station into like an unofficial bar. They just sit on the benches from morning all the way until night, just drinking beer. And they drink the type of beer that comes in a can where it's really like, it's a shiny color. Anytime you see a guy pull out a beer from his backpack, you know he's on demon time. And if you see the color of the tin is shiny, it's gold, it's silver, it's platinum, it's copper, this guy means business. And all those guys sit outside of a station where I live. So you can tell the nature of where I live based on those type of people. So I didn't think those iPhone jack boys were around here because the ones that I saw, number one, they're always riding really cool bikes. The ones I see that ride around in like West London, they have one of those like electric bikes that look like scramblers. They look like motorbikes, like crazy. So they're really expensive too. Because I remember Googling or checking them out on YouTube once when I was fucking thinking of buying one for myself, and they're really pricey. Obviously, there's some Chinese variants, but they're still pretty pricey, and they're rapid. They're rapid. They're silent because they're electric, so you don't flip and hear that stuff coming from behind you, and they're rapid as hell. So I just assume those the guys do that to blend in with their surroundings because you look like a upmarket, Uber Eats or delivery driver if you ride one of those type of bikes. But I didn't think they'd be around here. But the guy I saw around here just had a regular bike. No, he had a regular mountain bike that was kind of like retrofitted to be electric. That's what a lot of those guys around here, especially some of the Indian dudes, Indian or Pakistani dudes who do like delivery. They always get like regular mountain bikes and just, install a motor. I think it's pretty easy to do to convert a regular bike into an electric bike. I'd assume you basically have to get a new wheel, and the wheel has to have a motor, and you have to put the battery on the bike. It shouldn't be too difficult, I'm assuming, to have like an electric bike. Yeah, but yeah, I saw one of those guys jack some woman earlier today. Madness, bro. Happened in a flash too. Just as I looked up, I saw him nab the phone and keep it moving, and she just didn't even move. She just went, oh, she kind of made a sound, and that was it. She just made a sound, and that was it. And I was like, you know what? I respect it. I respect it. She didn't even try to run after the guy. She didn't even try and say anything. She just made a sound, and she kept it moving. She made a sound and just thought, you know what? That's a big L. Lesson learned. But the one I saw the other day was brutal. I saw one the other day. It's a video of some guy. I think it was during a ride out. I hope it wasn't during Skepta's thing, because I know Skepta had a ride out for one of his shoes. He dropped another colorway of those Puma shoes that he's got or that he's made, and he did a ride out with some kids. But I saw another ride out video, and this guy's recording. So there's a guy. Yeah, it's a crazy scene. There's like a light skinned dude at the traffic lights waiting for the kids to go by on their ride out, and he's holding his phone. When the video starts, you think he's the one that's going to get jacked. But obviously he looks kind of fit. He looks kind of young. So I think these guys pick their targets, which is awful, because you know they're picking you because they think you're a waste man. They think you can't run. They think you're weak. They think you're the F word, right? They think you're the P word. So they're picking on you because they know if they take your phone, the likelihood of you chasing them and catching them is nil. So the guy at the traffic lights who's got his phone in his hand and looks like he's carrying some shopping, they don't drag him. It's the white guy by the side in the video. And the white guy by the side is recording some of these kids doing their ride out. Then he stops recording, walks to go, you know, where he's walking towards. And then the kid comes from behind him. So it's not even like they jacked the phone as he's recording. No, they jacked the phone as he turned around. So he must have thought the coast was clear. He turned around, and by the time he looked up, the phone was already out of his hand. He tried to run a little bit, but the guy's already gone. I was like, oh my God, how bad does he feel, innit? He was doing like a nice thing, recording these kids and sharing his social media and being like, oh my God, I'm in London. Look at this stuff. Look how cool. And then suddenly he's probably saying all types of N-words underneath his breath. He's probably spitting all types of N-words underneath his breath. He's probably going to have some incredibly, you know, racially tinted, racially charged rant on his Facebook or his social media soon. You know what I mean? Going to be calling us cockroaches, monkeys, you know, apes, barbarians, beasts, you know, animals, like all sorts of things in between. And I don't blame him. I really don't blame him based on that video. But I still want to know what they're doing with those phones. I still would like to know what they're doing with those phones, because the last time I checked, you couldn't really do nothing with the iPhone or any smartphone. As soon as somebody bricks it, it's dead. But then I did hear, I'm not sure if this is true, there was a technique that you can do. I think it's like you put the phone in like a Faraday cage, kind of. You wrap it in foil and you put it in the fridge. I'm not just sure if that is still true. So if you jack a phone and you wrap it in foil and you put it in the fridge, it stops the IME number getting pinged or something. So you can technically still have it be used, I think. I don't know what that was about. I'm sure that's gobbledygook. But I would like to know where those phones are going. But I guess, to be honest, most likely those phones will probably end up abroad. Most likely. If you ship those abroad, they're basically good to go. I don't think you can brick a phone. You can probably brick a phone domestically, but I don't think it counts if it goes abroad. So most likely they can probably send it away, and then yeah, and then it's basically done. So RIP to those guys who got their phones jacked. It kind of is what it is. It kind of is what it blood clot is. Moving on to the show. First topic to talk about is regarding Drake and Lil Yachty and Akademiks. So Akademiks broke the news the other day that Drake's Super Soaker, SOS, the song, is going to be coming out, I think this week, I'm assuming. But unfortunately, it won't have a Lil Yachty verse. That song that I think the original guy who they sampled the song from didn't like the song that was leaked because it had too much profanity in it. And this kid allegedly is on some like born again Christian vibe. So in order to clear the sample, he wanted those guys to re-record their vocals. Well, I guess somewhere in between that, Lil Yachty got dropped off of the record. Now, there's been suggestions online that Lil Yachty had unfollowed Drake and some beef was happening. I don't think that's the case. I would assume this is just like, you know, record industry shit. And maybe Yachty's maybe being punished. I wouldn't say being punished, but maybe he's having some consequences for intentionally leaking the record and admitting it. I don't think intentionally leaking the record is probably an issue. Maybe the way he admitted it on Fragment might have put put him in some hot water, who knows? Or maybe after the fact, Drake recorded a song and just thought, you know what, I just sound better on it myself, which I think he did anyway, to be completely honest. So that's coming out. The thing that I'm concerned about, and that I don't like, I have to be honest, is this friendship between Drake and Akademiks. I don't like it in the slightest. I really don't. The reason why I don't like it is because as much as I like Akademiks as a live streamer, and I think he's a great content creator, and I'm a fan of his streams and shit and his come up, I think it's without question and without, being mean, that the kid is incredibly dorky. He's incredibly lame. And I feel like for Drake, for some reason, people look at him the same way. I'm not too sure why, because I think he's just as corny and lame as any other rapper out there. They've all got their fucking parts about them. But I guess maybe because Drake tries too hard to be cool, people look at him that way. But whatever the reason, or maybe because he's Canadian, who bloody knows. Either way, I don't think the Akademiks friendship or the pillow talking is making Drake look good. And I think, forget all that stuff, forget my aesthetic, cool guy nonsense. I just think in terms of dropping songs and tunes, I just want Drake to just drop surprise tunes as he used to do in the past. In the past, he just dropped something on OVO radio. Like, what's his name? Oliver would be doing a mix and he'd include a couple of tracks in there that were soon to be released. Or maybe not to be released. Maybe they'll put them up on fucking SoundCloud. Blah, 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 blah. Or you'd get it some other way. But I don't like how nowadays, the way that we're finding out about these records is through Akademiks. I really don't like that Akademiks is the one telling us about these records. I feel like it takes away from the impact that it could have if it dropped by a surprise. It takes away from any type of cool factor because Akademiks is inherently lame. I don't know. I just don't like it in the slightest. But this is the clip where Akademiks during his live stream talks about Drake taking off Lil Yachty and having the song for himself. And obviously, and there's also a video too. So it looks like Drake thinks or believes in this song a lot. Maybe because it performed well when it got leaked in the first place, but there's also a music video planned for Super Soak as well. So let's play the clip where Akademiks says Drake is going to follow through and release it.
Super Soak. I heard it's coming out. People, with a music video.
Okay, cool. Hold on 1 second. 1 second, appear with me. Let me just get this to go down a bit.
Now, there's some interesting shit going on here. I hear the Super Soak track is coming out. Music video included. One caveat. There's no Lil Yachty on it. Which that's a little confusing to me. But it is what it is. Only confusing because it was Yachty's song initially. Drake sent that to Yachty for it to be on Yachty's Concrete project. Yachty said...
The only thing I'm confused about, Akademiks says it was Drake's song originally that was going to appear on Yachty's Concrete album. I guess the Concrete mixtape that came out just recently. But the only thing I'm confused about when it comes to this is that it sounds like it was one of those things where it was Drake's record, but he gives records away. Allegedly, that's what he does quite often. If you like somebody and he thinks you're popping or whatever, he'll just give you the tune. So he just give you the song and basically you add your verse to it as opposed to the other way around. But maybe this is different. Maybe this is why Lil Yachty got taken off the song, because technically it's not his song. Even though Drake gave him the song to him to put on his album, it started off being Drake's song first. Then he wanted to feature Yachty. Then Yachty took it. He's like, you know what? You might as well keep it for your song and feature me. So technically, it's still Drake's song. So that doesn't really make any sense. Either way, I just would much rather, as a avid Drake fan, I just would much rather see Drake drop these records without the assistance of Akademiks. Personally, that's what I'd like to see. But I also understand, industry-wise, business-wise, it's probably important to have someone like Ak in your corner, especially nowadays in media. Like, who else is he going to talk to? Who else is Drake going to confide in or like drop these bits of information to so it can proliferate all over the net? He's not going to talk to Ebro, right? He's not going to talk to fucking Charlemagne and shit. So I get Akademiks is the best of what's available, really and truly. The rest of the guys are a bit corny or a bit lame, or he doesn't really have much relationship with them, or if he drops it with them, it won't really go nowhere. So I get why he chooses Akademiks. I just think I'd prefer it if it was like an announcement, or if it was a release of music. I'd much prefer not know it's going to be released, especially when it's Drake. I remember fondly those OVO radio moments being so impactful and so cool. And, listening to an entire mix for a couple of hours or a radio show, and then suddenly some like new record drops. You're like, oh shit, it's new Magic Dojon. Oh shit, it's new P&D. I mean, all this stuff was really important, but I guess nowadays things kind of change. You have to move with the times. But I just would much rather see Drake just drop records himself, and then, premiere them on his fucking live stream if he has to, as opposed to hand them to Akademiks. I feel like it takes away some of the oomph, and it also feels, for lack of a better term, it kind of always feels like he's maybe that is the case. It feels as if like he's trying to rewrite the narrative out there because of the loss against Kendrick. It almost feels like he's feeding Akademiks this information to kind of remind people, oh, I'm still alive, oh, I'm still doing good, oh, I'm still up, oh, I'm still this guy, which may not be the case. I may be reading into it, but I think even that angle is a bit lame, But again, what do I know? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's also been announced here, courtesy of the British Fashion Council. It's also been announced here, courtesy of my girl Linda. Big up Linda. It's It Girl Energy on Twitter. Has provided the nominations for Designer of the Year at the British Fashion Awards. This year's nominees are as follows. Oh no, the actual category name, Designer of the Year, and the little blurb here says it recognizes a British or international designer whose innovative collections have made a notable impact on the industry, defining shape of the global fashion. The names suggested are Chimina Kamali from Chloe, John Galliano from Maison Margiela, Jonathan Anderson for JW Anderson and Luebe, Musha Prada for Miu Miu, Peter Mueller for Pietre Mulier for Alaya, and Rick Owens for Rick Owens. Obviously, if I was going to pick, where my pick would go. My pick would obviously go to my guy, Rick Owens. Secondly, I'll probably give it to Jonathan Anderson. I think he's had a very strong year. And then third, maybe I'd give it to Musha Prada. But those would be my picks. I'd definitely go for Rick Owens or Jonathan Anderson for this year's Designer of the Year. I think they've both had very, very strong years. Who do I think would probably win? Because of the fact, I don't know, if it's based on like, I don't know, fashion insiders and shit, maybe the designer for Alaya might win. Maybe. Or maybe Musha Prada, because she's always a fan favorite. So I'm not too sure, but I'd definitely give Jonathan Anderson and Luebe. Just for the strength of just like, designing for two labels at that level is really crazy. And they both have very distinctive voices. I feel like the recent Rick Owens show was absolutely amazing too. I'm not sure if that counts, but that show, spectacle-wise, was fucking phenomenal. So maybe I'd give it to him too. And just, that legacy and how long he's been around, strong business, blah, 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 blah. Those are the people I'd probably give it to. But the one that's the most interesting for me, the most interesting this year to talk about, has to be Model of the Year. And I say it's the most interesting thing to talk about because I feel like last year's decision to give Model of the Year to Paloma Elsner has kind of fucked up this year. This is probably why those participation trophies and, virtue signaling and, whatever, I guess diversity, box ticking and shit. That's why all that stuff is really bad and very corrosive. Because when you do those type of things, however well-intentioned they are, they sometimes have unintended consequences. And I think the unintended consequence of giving Paloma Elsner the Model of the Year award last year when she didn't deserve it and only giving it to her because she's a plus-size model has now affected this year because Alex Konsani has had a really good year, but then I still think Anouk Yai should win it. So now you have two people who probably deserve to win it, because if you would have given it to Anouk Yai last year, who deserved to have it last year because she had an amazing last year, then you would actually also have freed the way for somebody like an Alex Konsani to get it this year, especially when you consider the impact that she's made on social media and whatever maybe, right? That's what, especially, I think she's kind of about become like a fan's favorite model as well, and she's become a lot of people kind of root for. That'd be the way to go it. But I think that last year fucking giving it to Paloma Elsner was such a bad decision. And I knew it was bad too because a lot of the people online who I follow, who are kind of, people that you would assume that would be a lot more, that would have a lot of feelings around why Paloma Elsner won it and would champion it. Even they were calling it out because Anouk Yai should have won. But I think the worst thing that Paloma Elsner did when she won that award, because it's not her fault, right? You win the award, it is what it is. But she kind of was on social media too much. Maybe she was getting trolled too much. She decided to kind of post a couple of things, essentially apologizing for winning and saying that, look, yeah, I should have won too. I was rooting for her. All this sort of like losery shit that you shouldn't do. Even if you win stuff that you don't deserve, you win it. You actually do the award. You actually are more respectful if you just take the award, be graceful or be gracious and be, and be thankful for winning it. But you're actually giving the people that you beat way more respect if you just accept the award, as opposed to doing this whole feigning, oh, I don't really want this. No. Accept the award, have some respect for me, and then keep it moving. It's not your fault. It is what it is. The game is rigged. But the worst thing that she could have done, the worst thing that Paloma Elzina could have done was this article that she posted, or that she wrote, courtesy of The Cut, where she basically tried to apologize for her existence. Like, absolutely pathetic. Like, she should have never done this. And this kind of made things worse, to be honest. I'll read a bit to you now. It says, the price of being first, I made modeling history, then the internet made me wish I hadn't. So scroll down. It says here, on the afternoon of December 3rd, I was on my hands and knees at the Sunset Tower Hotel praying. It was the day before the Fashion Awards, an annual event put on by the British Fashion Council that honors designers, models, and others. I was up for Model of the Year, yet all day I've been making silent pleas not to win. Can you imagine? Can you imagine opening your article like this? Like, doing this type of losery shit? Like, she should have never done this, man. I understand why she did it, but she should have never done it. Please, God, don't let me win this award, I prayed. I simply do not have the capacity. When I was 22 studying psychology and literature in a new school makeup artist, Pat McGrath saw me on Instagram, and someone from her team sent me an email that would change my life. I started modeling, and in 9 years since, I've achieved things I am deeply proud of, appearing on covers of American and British Vogue a few times, walking runways worldwide, buying a home, and even releasing a book. Yet amid all those milestones, I've been afraid of feeling found out. Constantly self-editing, trying to find balance between tender self-acceptance, unbridled self-hatred. Each victory for representation comes with a new flood of vitriol and a new wave of doubt. Maybe they're right. Maybe I don't deserve to be here at all. That has to be one of the hardest things people don't really understand, and even I'm kind of starting to, meditate on as I'm reading this article. It must be really hard to be a plus-size model. As much as people like to rag on plus-size models, it must be really difficult, because deep down, you're only there because you're fat. You know you're only there because you're fat. No matter what your face card is giving, no matter how amazing you do look in clothes, the only reason why you're there is because you're fat. And the fashion industry are basically tokenizing you. They're basically using you like a prop. They're basically taking away, what's it taking away, agency, but they're basically using you to make themselves look good. They don't care about people that look like you. They don't care about the everyday woman on the street. They don't care about fat people. They're just using you, and you know it. But the upside is the upside, which I've always said. I think I've said it to a couple of my friends who are kind of pursuing the whole DJ route, especially one particular girl who's got massive, massive boobies. And I was telling her, hey, embrace that. Use that to your advantage. Just make sure you don't go too far, because once you go too far, there's no kind of turning back. And then you can't suddenly turn the rules. You can't then suddenly change rules on people and be that type of person. Do it tastefully, of course, but use it to your advantage, because these are things God bless you with. Why wouldn't you do it? But in this particular situation, it must be really hard, because if you start to embrace that label and that image and shit, you start to feel less than. You start to feel used, you start to feel cheapened, you start to feel like a commodity in some respects. And people on the outside too are looking at you and thinking you're a joke. So it's not only is there a lot of self-doubt about yourself, is there a lot of questioning yourself, but as well, deep down that you're not there on quote unquote merit. You're there because they want to make themselves look good. And if you try to embrace it, you might make things worse. So it's a really crazy situation to be in. It continues as well. It says as follows: I anticipated the backlash would unleash. Oh, this fat girl doesn't deserve to win. Oh, inclusivity is ruining fashion. But that night, winning was not on my radar. I generally believed it wasn't going to happen. I've been telling anyone who'd asked me that my friend Anouk Yai would rightfully win. She has such a strong year, and I'm overwhelmingly proud of and inspired by her and the other nominees. You see, I take this as a diss. I wouldn't like this sort of stuff. Like, don't like pity me. Do you know what I mean? I didn't win because the fashion industry is rigged, but don't start to pity me, especially if you're my friend. I wouldn't like this. I think she should have relaxed with all this stuff. Being a model, comes with a rare type of loneliness. You sacrifice education, funerals, birthdays, friendships. Every day at work, you sit in the strange hotels with new faces. Longevity in the game is rare, especially if you don't fit the conventional mold of whiteness or thinness. All the while, many of us are helping our families back home. My fellow nominees are represent what it means to be persevere in an industry that doesn't center you. None of us are white. None of us are children of famous parents. All of us are working our asses off. I didn't even bother to prepare a speech, sorry. So when Damson Idris, the presenter, called out Model of the Year goes to Paloma Elza, I thought, start thinking of what you're going to say, bitch. I wove through the hall, lights flashing as peers and strangers stood up on their feet and cheered. Damson handed me an intricate amber orb, my award, and I tucked it under my arm. Amid my sputtered words and sheer disbelief, I said, I feel very honored and I'm very shocked, but I'm also predominantly honored because I'm the first curve model to win this award. I felt shy and overwhelmed, but I meant it. Bittersweet, innit? That award in your house has to be bittersweet. That award in your house has to be bittersweet because you know why you got it, and you know the reasons why you got it aren't legit. But then I also think nothing is legit these days. You get what you can get out of life. You figure out what you can figure out. So just take it and keep it moving. But I feel like that award that they gave to Paloma Elzina last year is the reason why this year's Model of the Year category is so hard to pick. Because if they would have given it to Anouk Yai last year, as you should have deserved it, this year you can decide if you want to give it to Alex Consoni for, like, you know, obviously some great work and clearly the social media presence and shit, or if you want to give it to Paloma. But because you try to tick the boxes and do the good thing and appear like you're doing the right thing, you've now fucked it, and now you're in a position where you might fuck two people. Because imagine, maybe Alex Consoni or Anouk Yai don't win either. Or imagine if Anouk Yai loses another Model of the Year award once again, despite having all of this amazing stuff that she did throughout the year. This is courtesy of Fashion Spot. Look all the great shoots that Anouk Yai has done from July only. These are posts from July only. An editorial here from US Vogue, August 2024, looking obviously fantastic. Like, just, you know, shoot after shoot after shoot of just amazing shit, and then she doesn't win the Model of the Year. Like, come on, brother. What's this one? L, August 2024. Look how great she looks. I think there's a Met Gala look here too, by the way, because that Met Gala look is incredible. So she should definitely win Model of the Year based on all of these bits of evidence here that I'm presenting to you. But there's definitely a likelihood that she won't win anything. You know, she will kind of go empty-handed second year in a row, which is fucking diabolical considering all the amazing images that she's been a part of. Just great shit. Red carpet looks like just smoking it. Pre-Met Gala looks killing it. Met Gala look itself. Anouk Yai became water in a futuristic tulle catsuit embellished with 98,000 glimmering blue crystals. Anouk's look was complemented by a high jewelry necklace from our Galaxy collection, crafted by 1,050 laboratory-grown diamonds. Look at that. Incredible. How can that person not win Model of the Year? Like, look at that. Jesus Christos. But again, when you fuck around and you tick the diversity boxes, the Met Gala after that, she killed all the looks in it. Pre-Met Gala, Met Gala look, and the after party. Just absolutely destroying. No. So let's see what happens during the Model of the Year Awards. Most likely she won't win anything and it'll just play the way it plays. But hey, this is where we are. This is where we are. Moving on from this is where we are and talking about things that we're not going to be doing anymore, and moving the hell forward, let's talk about this post courtesy of Stay Grounded regarding Kanye West's storage items. So I think some of you may have seen the other day that some person had bought loads of items from Kanye West's storage. I'm not too sure if they were like storage containers or they were items inside of the storage themselves, but regardless, the contents of the storage containers were loads of things that Kanye had used during, you know, the Yeezy collection stuff, and loads of live shows, whatever it may be, and those cool shit, especially some of the masks. I would love to have gotten hold of some of the masks, some of the gloves that were in there, some of the shoes that were customized for particular fashion shows and shit. Really cool stuff. And by the way, the shoes that he does as well is really cool. So I guess for showroom, or for, I guess, Fashion Week shows, because I didn't really realize it, instead of manufacturing a whole line of shoes, they'll just take they'll just take already made shoes, so whether they're Yeezy, mostly Yeezys, and you'd kind of pad it on the outside, you'd kind of tape it around, or I don't know, I guess it's clay or something, to kind of give you the shape that you want. So obviously they're not production shoes, but it gives you kind of an idea of what type of shape that you want. So all that stuff was even featured. So that person shared a picture. But this time we've got some listings on eBay. So this is courtesy of Stay Grounded TV. It says items from Ye storage unit are currently being listed on eBay. Items include an original Yeezy and Gap jumpsuit pattern and a Yeezy computer. So look all the items that are available now. You got Kanye West Yeezy desktop computer, and you've also got a Kanye West original jumpsuit pattern, which is pretty cool. I'd imagine a brand will probably pick that up. The pattern for the fucking jumpsuits or the hoodies, those are priceless. Those are priceless things, and things that you could probably, you know, build an entire fashion collection off of if you wanted to. You could honestly build an entire fashion collection off of the back of this shit, which people have already done anyway, right? The Yeezy color palette and the Yeezy shapes have been fucking plagiarized by everybody under the sun. But these sort of patterns are super cool to just take and just, you know, try some things out yourself at home. But yeah, some good shit here. Look at all this stuff. Wow. I guess that's the Yeezy Gap jumpsuit. I'm not even sure if that even came out, you know. I'm pretty sure that didn't even drop. That's still one of the things that pains me. I'm not going to lie. One of the things that pains me, apart from Ye fucking shooting himself in the foot and going on an anti-Semitic fucking press run, one of the things that pains me was him fucking killing that Gap contract. That Gap deal, man, there was so much great shit that could have come off of it, that could have come off the back of it. So much great opportunities that weren't fucking pursued, initiatives, just in general. Like, that could have been such a game changer to take that level of design. You know, he was wanting to take like Balenciaga level of design and kind of, you know, have it be available to the masses and shit. Obviously, he kind of did it himself with his own Yeezy.com site and shit. I think they've closed it down, by the way, and it's only like $20 per item. But I was really looking forward to some of the stuff. There was like a backpack I was wanting to get. There was a couple of jackets. I think there was some pants that never came out. So much shit that could have come out, but Kanye killed it. And now, I don't think I've heard a single thing from Gap. I think there was rumors that they were going to try and hire another creative director to do something, but ever since then, they've kind of just gone back to doing their own, you know, they've got little small capsule collaborations that they do, but they don't want to have like an overarching, you know, creative director type of person, which may have been the reason why it didn't work with Kanye, because he's so, you know, he's a nightmare to deal with. But I'd imagine too, the Gap fucking boardroom people aren't the easiest to deal with either. So maybe that was the reason why it went the kind of way it went. There's the pattern cut, as you can see. There's also a computer available. I guess that's an iMac Kanye West desktop computer. Oh, it's a HP. It's a MB. Oh, it's a HP. So it's Windows. Okay, I thought it was an Apple. So it's a Kanye West desktop computer, HP Envy from Kanye West storage room. So you got a computer there also. Yeezy pattern 9 on the thing. You've got some passwords there written on the bottom. So yeah. So somebody's selling the contents of the fucking storage unit, which is pretty cool, because I'm assuming buying of the storage unit was probably super cheap, and then wherever you find in there, you find in there. But that's something that you can only do in America. I don't think you can have the ability to kind of buy these sort of things over here, unfortunately. So congratulations to the person that bought it. Just unfortunately, it ended up in the hands of fucking stinky reseller, innit? You know, someone that can actually document that stuff and kind of share it with the fans. But I guess it is what it is. I guess it is what it blood clot is. Moving on from that particular one, I actually wanted to quickly post this regarding the things that Flipping Tyler, the creator's been talking about while sitting down with an interview with one of Jay-Z's friends. So he sat down with one of Jay-Z's friends that had some very interesting things to talk about when it came to music, the industry, you know, artistry in general, fans, all that good shit. But this particular quote I feel like was very interesting because it spoke a little bit about artists only doing music for the money, or only doing it for the lick, right? And not really having their hearts in it. And I have to be honest, I kind of agree with what he's saying, but I also disagree with what Tyler, the creator, is saying, because I think there's another clip also with Sexy Red where she kind of talks about a similar thing. And I think that kind of drives home a little bit of my point I'm going to make once I play this video. So this is the video of Tyler, the creator, talking a little bit about his problem with artists coming up nowadays.
I don't want to seem like a hater. Sometimes I have hater energy because I just think I'm that good. People be like, well, you signed up for this. No.
Is your frustration then because you care about this art form so
Dude,
much?
I love this art form so much, bro. And there's so many niggas out right now that aren't musicians that are getting treated like musicians because they make meme records. It publicly will be like, I don't give a fuck about music. I just do this shit for money. Like, it's a Spider-Man meme of like the next nigga. When every publication is like, hell yeah, let's put that out. Now you taking up space for niggas like me.
So I understand what he's talking about. I get the frustration with seeing artists that don't really care about the music and are only in it for the money per se. But I do think there are different journeys there's different paths, there's different places, different positions, different reasons why people get into music. And I think the reasons are what they are. The end result is the only thing that matters, really. Do the fans like the music, yes or no? But I think they all serve a purpose. I think you're meant to look at someone like Tyler if you're an artist coming up, and you're meant to be inspired by his like unrelenting, you know, pursuit to present music and the thing that he does in a particular way. You are gonna, you know, you're gonna maybe look up to how he approaches instrumentation, songwriting, composition, the whole shebang. You should appreciate that for what he does. But it doesn't mean because you appreciate what he does in that way that it's going to work necessarily for you, or that you can't appreciate somebody who's just in it for the quick lick, but also in the process of doing that is able to make some great records that you're a big fan of. I think they all have their place. And the reason why I say this is because I remember seeing this clip that features Sexy Red talking a little bit about the same thing. And I felt like what Sexy Red said was probably the most concerning thing, because it sounded like she was in a rush to just make loads of money. That's the issue that I have that way. I don't mind people coming in just to make the money and do the music, but it sounded like Sexy Red, what she said here, she's only in it specifically to kind of stack up the money. And then once that's done, you know, take your foot off the pedal and don't give a fuck anymore, which obviously I feel like hurts the fans mostly. Let's play that clip.
Who's your female artist goat of all time?
Nicki.
Yeah?
She been in this game 10, have it been 10 plus years or just 10 years?
Nah, probably like 15 at this point.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
goals. That's how I want to be. And she's still getting money, still driving nice cars, fancy clothes. I ain't trying to go broke. I don't want to be broke. I don't want to be homeless. You know?
And I personally think that's the wrong way to think about things. Going into making music thinking I don't want to be broke, I don't want to be homeless. Because I don't think the person that she looks up to, Nicki Minaj, has had that be her goal. I think that person like that, or a level of artist like a Nicki Minaj, has been making great music consistently for like, you know, more than maybe 2 decades. Surprising and delighting fans, always being at the top of her game. And that is what has inevitably led to the hundreds of millions of dollars that she's making. You don't go on a tour that she's going on now with Pink Friday 2 tour, or the Pink Friday 2, I think it's just called Pink Friday tour. You don't go on that tour without having an incredible body of work, without having a discography that really doesn't need to be argued with. And you only get a discography like that by really loving the game, really loving the process, wanting to excite your fans, wanting to say something, getting your sound out there, whatever it may be. But I don't think it starts from just wanting to hit a lick. If you want to hit a lick, that kind of hit a lick music, you hear it, you know what it sounds like, it comes and goes. But I don't think you can stay in the game for 20 plus years if your heart's not in it, you know, and if you're not in it for the wrong reasons. But I also understand, having watched this clip, if you're someone like a Tyler the Creator, why it would trigger you. Because you're in it for the artistry, you're in it for, you know, being regarded as one of the best. You want, when all is said and done, people to remember you for making amazing, great music that touch people in all sorts of ways, which is true. But I still think there's a path for everybody, and nothing is right or wrong. That's what I'd say in this regard. I don't think nothing is right or wrong. There's a path for everybody. There's a path for everybody. But again, what do I know? Absolutely nothing. That's what I know. Absolutely nothing. Continuing on from that, we've got this to talk about regarding Modern Notoriety posting these up and coming Travis Scott and Fragment Air Jordan 1 lows. Now, I've said a lot of bad things on this particular pod about Air Jordan 1 lows, and I'm probably going to still continue saying bad things about Air Jordan 1 lows because I hate the shape, I hate the silhouette, I hate how they kind of look fake, you know, Air Jordan 1 lows. I don't know what it is about them. But with all that being said, I have to be honest, this particular Air Jordan 1 low, this Travis Scott and Fragment Air Jordan 1 low might be the best one so far. And Travis Scott has done too many of these Air Jordan 1s. Lows especially. I feel like he's completely rinsed the market. I've got Travis Air Jordan 1 low, you know, fatigue. I've had enough of them. It almost feels like his shoes may be one of the most popular generic normie sneakerhead shoes. You'll see some random, you know, security guard or some kick streamer wearing them. You'll see Dana White wearing them. You see loads of random people wearing his fucking shoes, but I fucking hate them. I'm bored of them. But I think this particular colorway has reignited my interest in them, and it's kind of made me look past the crazy Air Jordan 1 low shape and how it looks in general. Number one, if you don't know, the shoe is an all white with navy blue. You've got an all white upper. It looks like it's a tumbled leather It may be. Oh no, it's not. It's just nicely smoothly. I thought it was a tumble there. From my eyes are a bit shitty. The swoosh on the side that's backwards is like a nice royal blue. You've also got a royal blue hit on the heel tab, which I really like because this, if I'm not mistaken, looks like it's suede or nubuck. The lining on the inside is mesh. I thought that was satin, but it's a mesh lining. Nice flat laces. And then on the tongue, you've got the, if I'm not mistaken, you've got the Travis Scott logo, and then I think the Fragment logo as well stitched on there. But I also love the addition of this stained midsole, which kind of gives like an aged vintage look as well. But this might be one of the best colorways I've seen so far on this Air Jordan 1 Low. This white and blue pair, they look so fucking good. Like they killed it, like, especially this angle here with the guy wearing it on his feet. Like these look crazy. So on the tongue, on the left hand side of the tongue, down the side, you've got a tag here that says Fragment, and on the opposite foot you've got a tag that says Travis Scott. It's a Travis Scott tag or like logo with the X's, I think, next to the T and shit. But this looks so good. So the leather, the swoosh on the leather that's backwards is tumbled. So you've got this nice tumbled leather effect. There's nice and plush leather finishes there. But the leather here on the upper is just like regular leather, it looks like. There's even some bubbles here actually, where this guy's wearing it. They don't look too high quality, I've got to be honest. The leather on the upper, but I don't mind them because the color is so fresh. I like the fucking stained midsole. Gives it a weird vintage look, even though they're incredibly new. But they're such a good shoe. Really fucking good shoe. I'll definitely keep my eye on these when they eventually come out, which is gonna be wow, man. I'm curious to see what's going on with all these shoes getting leaked, and the release date is like next year. I think I saw something happen with the Teddy Santis designed New Balances that are going to drop sometime next year in summer. Same with these. Like allegedly they're going to be dropping in in fall of 2025. Not even summer, fall. It's like, god damn it, man. They're not mucking around, but it's a really nice shoe. Love what it looks like. Again, like I said, I think the hit here at the back is probably the best thing possible. That little fucking suede nubuck heel tab with the stitching all over it is absolutely amazing. So big up Hiroshi Fujiwara and obviously Travis and all those guys involved in that thing, because I think this is one of the best Jordan 1 fucking loads I've seen in a while. Definitely seen in a while. It looks so flipping good. It looks so freaking clean. Big up Travis, big up Hiroshi Fujiwara. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. Moving on from that one, we have this particular post again from Modern Notoriety regarding a new sneaker, actually courtesy of Crocs. Crocs have got a new sneaker called the Bubble Crush. Crocs have got a new sneaker called the Bubble Crush. How can I describe it for you if you're not watching the video? It's essentially like Crocs' version of like a Reebok pump back in the day, that sort of shape. But instead of the pump, it's just, you know, a bubble, or somebody saying, you know, that's a bubble or something. You know, there's nothing else going on there. But I quite like these. These look really fucking nice. They're a little bit unnecessarily futuristic looking, you know. If that was a slight flipping criticism on there, they do look a little bit too hard. They look like they've been trying too hard with them. But I really don't mind them, I swear. Really don't mind them. And there's also a couple of other colorways too that are dropping. You got the white and black that's featured at the top. You've also got the black with the gum sole, that's classic. And you've also got an all white pair, and of course a Desert Western, which, you know, who knows what's true. But if those things were true, that would be so hilarious. Like, try and tell everybody that you're not, you know, bothered or whatever it may be, and then suddenly, hey, here you are talking the most smack to people, and it's like, oof, God almighty. But yeah, I don't mind these particular. I think they look pretty hard. Would I wear them day to day? Probably not, but they do look pretty hard. They do look pretty hard. So big up them. Big up blood clot them. Moving on from that one, let's talk a little bit about Rachel Chinouriri. Big up Rachel Chinouriri. I feel really bad for her, I'm not gonna lie. She posted this via Twitter regarding her up and coming tour. She was meant to go on tour. She was meant to go on tour. And man, it messed up. She can't go anymore. So this is courtesy of Rachel Chinouriri's Twitter, and she says the following: "Hello everyone. I'm deeply saddened to announce I have to withdraw from the Remi Wolf tour and the several festivals. This year I was invested all my savings and earnings into my shows, styling and band to be able to tour. While my debut album has been open many amazing opportunities, the financial strain of touring has become too much." So imagine you're Rachel Chinouriri, you have a breakthrough year, I think this year, or maybe last 18 months. You're killing it on social media, you're getting all these rave reviews, but you can't afford to go on tour with your band, you know, during a Remi Wolf tour, because it's going to cost you more money to tour than it would be maybe to make the effort to go and make the money back. That is tragic, isn't it? Really tragic. But it does remind me a lot of what some friend of mine said, actually. Big up Lolo. She said something like, I was talking to her one time, you know, because she's kind of coming up on the DJ game. And she was basically talking about I wouldn't say it's a new method, but there's a thing that a lot of parties do sometimes if you're unproven and you're new on the scene, is that they'll just pay for your flights and your boards, or pay for your flight and accommodation, and you just essentially pay for free. And sometimes you don't even get flight and accommodation. Sometimes you have to pay for one or the other. But the idea behind it is that you'll get there and then you kind of prove your worth when you get there. You have your chance, okay, now go prove your true worth in that regard. Obviously, some people do it with headphones and listen to the studio, some people who are going to be sick. But I guess that's the way forward. So there are people out there, especially maybe mid-level DJs, I assume, who are what you deem to be semi-professional, who are probably paying to play. That's the really sad part about it. There's people out there who are semi-pro, who should be getting paid to play, who are actually paying to play. That's such a sad thing. So for all the amazing stuff we've seen from Rachel Chinouriri on social, you know, she was still struggling behind the scenes to kind of keep the roof on or justify going on tour completely, which is absolutely crazy in my opinion. But, you know, what can you do with that one? It continues. Despite my best efforts to secure funding for this incredible opportunity, it isn't possible. This is tough reality for the music industry, where whether you're signed or independent, I've explored every possible option to make this work because I adore the Remi and her fan base, and I was so excited to come to the States. However, I cannot justify the financial risk it would entail. Thank you for your understanding and your support. It means everything to me. I'll continue to work hard and can't wait to get to see you again on November tour. All my US darlings will be back soon as I can. Jesus Christ, bro. Imagine not being able to go on tour with your fucking band because you can't afford it, because the music industry financials are all over the shop. The guy who used to be a Neek, you know, who's still outside, is the one that's kind of running things. Everything's kind of going to shit show. So I can definitely understand why, you know, these things go the way that they go. I can definitely understand why these things go the way that they go. And you've also got an update here, courtesy of Rachel Chinouriri. Says, thank you for the messages. The industry is tough, but I'm beyond grateful that I have a team who believe in me. I'm still going to do my own tour and Sabrina Carpenter tour, which is unbelievable. My journey has been nothing short of amazing, seeing it grow over the years. So she's telling people, hey, it's going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay, which I love. But yeah, it's just a shame the music industry is the way it is, because there's some people out there who are touring who actually don't want to tour. They're only touring because they need the money. That's the crazy thing. There are people outside now who are touring this country, touring Europe, touring the world, who aren't doing it because they like it. They're doing it because they legitimately need money. If they don't tour, money doesn't come in, which is crazy to me. Which probably takes away from these artists making good albums, because they're constantly thinking about performing on stage and always kind of having your kind of guard on and shit. That must be super annoying, especially if you don't want it to have it on. Do you know what I mean? You just want to kind of live your life and be left alone. Of course, it's going to be annoying when somebody kind of keeps, you know, reminding you of all this fucking shit. And in the last post here, we got here, don't be sad for me. I'll catch you all in the next ones. Look at how far we've come as a fan base this year. It's baby steps. I trust the universe and the hard work, keeping a positive attitude will guide me to more of these opportunities. Yeah, for sure. This attitude that Rachel Chinouriri has is the reason why she blew up the way she blew up. I felt like it was one of the last real organic kind of like blow ups across all musical genres. I literally felt like it was somebody that kind of, you know, heard about online and would listen to the mixtape here and there and YouTube video, but I never once did that kind of thing. Oh shit, this person's getting signed. Do you know what I mean? So I think that attitude that she has, that kind of half glass full type of vibe that she has, is definitely going to lend itself into, you know, a good position. So big up Rachel Chinouriri. It's a shame that she had to cancel a tour in the first place. I wish musicians could get paid adequately to just play their music and do what they know best, as opposed to just keeping it out for free. But, you know, may not do, but may not do. It kind of is what it is. It kind of is what it is on that particular front. Moving on, we have to talk about, of course, we have to talk about this. Courtesy of Mixmag. It says Mixmag, courtesy of Mixmag. It says the FDA rejects use of MDMA assisted therapy in the United States. The administration has asked that further studies be conducted before the summer. Let's continue. The drugs and, you know, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has rejected the use of MDMA in a therapy in the United States, asking that further studies be conducted before the approval. MDMA-assisted therapy has been under trial for treating PTSD for the US for the past 4 years, it says. Oh, in the US for years, with previous data from the study showing that it could help improve mental while combined with therapy. It continues. MDMA-assisted therapy data from the third phase of the clinical trial by the US drug company Lycos Therapeutics shows that 71% of those under trial no longer pass PTSD diagnosis after taking the drug therapeutically. On August 6th, Lycos Therapeutics announced that the head of FDA that it rejected its application to implement MDMA assisted therapy to the PTSD. The FDA demanded further studies of the test. In a statement released by Lycos, explained that the FDA had concerns over the missing data. The article's remain scientifically sound and present. Important contributions to the study of potential treatments of PTSD. Now, for me personally, I think maybe come off the back of the Matthew Perry situation, where he unfortunately was not really done right or looked after by his assistant, his handler, his family, his drug dealer, to the point where he was just like buying way too much shit and doing all of it all at once. So that was a major issue that was going on there. So if I was them, most likely what I would say is that I'm just fed up of all these like alternative use for like Class B and Class A drugs. We know what they're for. There's like insistence on trying to make these drugs like healthy or good for you or something, and trying to integrate them into your workout. All this malarkey. I feel that's a waste of time. I feel like it's a genuine waste of time. I'd much rather people just like focus entirely on just getting better as kind of human beings, really, and then going for the rest later on if need be. That's what it should be. It should be all about that, because I feel like all these alternative fucking drug medications for things that should be getting treated with properly in the right way kind of takes away a lot from the concern about the type of things going forward as well. But hey, what do I know? What do I know? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nada. And again, courtesy of RA, we got another news here courtesy of Will Smith. Will Smith and this guy in Ibiza are opening a club together. Well, no, Will Smith helped to open, quote unquote, the club. And here is the article. It says details of a new nightclub at the former site of Ibiza's privilege have been unveiled. Named UNVRS, the new name is being billed as the world's first hyperclub. Jesus Christ, the first. I don't think, do we actually need hyperclubs though? It's the first hyperclub. I don't think anyone was screaming out for hyperclub. I don't understand. Let's continue. There's a person there. There's my friend Atari Davidson Cream and stuff. It continues. So yeah, named UNVRS, a new venue is being billed as the first hyper club. Will continue to have high in the luxury with the scale and ambition of arena events, following the footsteps of the owners' night league for other venues in the Osaya and Ibiza. The Night League has confirmed that the new venue will open its doors in 2025. To tease the new nightclub, UNVRS has enlisted the help of Hollywood actor Will Smith as part of the UFO-themed social media campaign that has seen the Men in Black star film himself looking for aliens. This clip is posted on TikTok that alluded to the UFC's, what's that thing called? Record Ibiza's Ease Verdia Beauty Sport, a video that has now garnered 52 million views. Smith then walks around the site and the venue, meeting up with Night League CEO Jan Pisseman. The campaign has been truly out of this world. Let's continue here. Get rid of this fucking sign. Come on, you cunt. Now that the truth is out there, we can't wait to welcome everyone of the new UNVRS in 2025. So, maybe Ibiza needs a hyper club. Maybe you can, you can concentrate all those people into one place. Might be the best to do things. But I think personally, for me, the last place I want to go to is a nightclub, and it's like in some incredibly huge, unlimited fucking arena or spec. Just too much. I can't do that. I can't be doing that sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm curious to see what this club will end up looking like and what Will Smith's involvement has to do with anything. I didn't really count him as like a party boy or anything, but I guess it's maybe changed. Maybe he keeps going there every year like Diddy does, and he's kind of fell in with a crew of people, and now here they are going from banging gym to actually banging the gym, which makes a lot of sense. Which does make a lot of sense. So big up those guys. Can't wait to see what happens when that club does finally open. Cannot wait to see what happens when that club does finally open. More news here, courtesy of Mixed Mag. Pretty interesting one, this one. The title says as follows: Boundary Brighton Festival launches a pay what you can afford tickets ahead of its next month festival, which is pretty cool because I feel like recently or last week or whenever, I feel like I've seen like 3 or 4 articles out there about festivals just cancelling. And this time a lot of them aren't lying. They're not like making up some elaborate lie. They'll just say, hey, yeah, it's just we didn't sell enough tickets. It doesn't make it financially viable. We'll try and see you next year. If not, here's your refund. You know what I mean? They're not even trying to like sugarcoat it. It is what it is type of thing. And I think the only other way to do it, if you can afford to, is obviously just have a pay what you can kind of system. Maybe you have a minimum entry price of like £5 or £10, which isn't really pay what you like, but you kind of get what I mean. Let's read the article courtesy of Mixed Mag. It says Boundary Brighton has launched a pay what you can afford ticket initiative ahead of next month festival. Taking place on September 28th at the Stanmer Park in Brighton, Boundary is offering 1,000 tickets to 18 to 24-year-olds on the age group who have been hit but hard by the cost of living crisis. That's actually a good initiative. To give the kids them that kind of deal, that's a very good initiative. Big up him. On sale until August 21st. The tickets start at £10. Okay, like I said, there's a minimum, so it's not really pay what you like. With the cost of the tickets given up to $5 incrimination, allowing Boundary Brighton will donate 25% of each ticket sale to its charity partner, Star Trust. Okay, cool. Then you have to pay more. You're gonna feel shitty if you go to this club and find out everyone's wearing a charity tee or everyone's got a drink with charity water in it they're gonna share with people, and here you are just doing your own thing. Like, you can't be doing that. Boundary Brighton will donate 20% of each ticket to the charity called Star Trust. At the city's largest electronic music festival, Brighton might land as well in the future. So I'm curious to see if this will be a thing going forward for other festivals, because it seems like, again, like I said, so many of these festivals are cancelling and they're not able to kind of follow through. And obviously in the end, the fans are the ones that always lose when these type of things happen. So I'd love to see more of an honest reception, more of an honest outlook on some of these clubs and some of these festivals and some people that kind of do them as well in general. So big up Boundary Brighton for implementing that system, and hopefully it works out for them. Hopefully it works out for them. Continuing on in the last here on the club news, we've got this unfortunate article, courtesy once more from Mixed Mag. It says Berlin nightclub Wilde Renate to close permanently in 2025 after 18 years. Really, really sad, to be fair, because it's one of those spots that I don't tend to go to that often. I think in the whole time I was going to Berlin, I think I might have been in Wilde Renate like 5 times, if that, and it was usually because I was going with somebody else and I was kind of following them and they went to meet other friends or just hang out there in general. But it's generally not the place that I kind of will run to or go to in the first place. There's definitely other venues and shit that I'd probably check out before that. So maybe that's the problem. Maybe people just kept forgetting about it and didn't really pay it too much mind, which is what led to it closing, or the usual gentrification shit happened, and here we go. So let's read the article. It says long-standing Berlin nightclub Salon Zur Wilde Renate, also known as Wilde Renate, has announced that it will close permanently at the end of 2025. So it's still got a long time to go. It's 2025 is going to close after 18 years. The venue has also, was first opened in 2007, cited financial reasons and problems extending its lease, confirming that it will not have to close its doors in the current location 2025. So I'm assuming most likely, like all clubs or like all places nowadays or all landlords, most likely the person just raised the rent. The landlord, the fucking lease was up. They had to re-sign, and then when they went to re-sign, the landlord said, "Hey, it's this amount now," which is crazy, because if you've been running a club on a shoestring budget anyway before, and now suddenly the person wants to raise the prices up to like a crazy amount, it's never going to work. It continues. It says, despite our best efforts to extend the lease and to find an alternative solution, the reality is that Renate will no longer be able to exist in its current form after this point. The club said that it was dealing with a notorious real estate investor, claiming that they know across Berlin for maximizing profits through rent hikes, leading to displacements and evictions. That's the one thing that I've never understood, man. Like, surely there's a middle ground. That's the only thing I argue with, because I understand in some respects you can't really stop gentrification. It's almost like a function or an extension of capitalism. You just can't. So it just is what it is. So if that's the case, let's manage it so it kind of, doesn't harm people and benefits the most people. And maybe a good way to do it is to reach an impasse, like a middle ground. Maybe if let's say an area is popping up and there's loads of hipsters there, they make it obviously cool, and then the gentrifiers come in. They want to also live around it, because why not? If you have the choice to, you can move there, whatever. But then they obviously move there and have their own demands. They have, because they live there. They have their own ways they want to see things. But I would just like a middle ground. That's what I would like. Instead of just coming in and bulldozing everything there, maybe let them keep something so that they have their little spot and then you guys have the majority of the spot because you bought it or whatever maybe. That might be the better way to go about it, but that never happens. Gentrification just happens across the board. Like just every, whole area gets wiped out and then a very select few people get to live there and that's it. There's no real conversation, there's no real debate, there's no real fucking panel discussion, there's no nothing. You know what I mean? There's no vote. It's just, hey, I know this place is cool. I know you've been here since fucking 2005 and you made this place pop in, but I would like to live here now and I would like all the music to be turned off by 9 p.m. You know what I mean? That's not fair. That isn't fair. It continues. Wilde Renate also claimed that it has become the victim of rent hikes, saying that its own rent had more than doubled in recent years and now suffers from severe financial strain as a result. Yeah, imagine you run a club and your rent is doubling by 2. Yeah, and then you got DJs like myself, emailing you all the time, wondering why we can't play, and then get pissed off when you don't get a reply straight away. It's like, bro, these guys have things to deal with, like real life shit to deal with. It continues. Now with the lease set to expire, it seems that as our efforts to keep the current location viable have been undermined. Renate's displacement is not an isolated case. The club referenced the loss of other venues, including Berlin, across Berlin, calling it a blow to the club scene, but also an entire city, its cultural diversity. When I hear people in Berlin complaining about clubs closing, I'm like, you guys don't know how good you have it. Yes, obviously it's still annoying when they do close. There's one particular one I remember going to ages ago. I'm sure I remember the name. They used to have really good merch too. It was almost like heavy metal inspired sort of merch, black and white type of thing. I forgot what the name of the club is called, but it was like in a temporary space anyway, so I don't think it was going to be open for a while. But whenever I hear Berlin people complain about club closing, I'm like, bro, you guys have not lived in London long enough. The amount of clubs that have closed in London, you can rattle off on one hand, that really impacted culture and moved the needle, and just completely gone. They just exist on, on the internet in like Tumblr pictures and random videos on YouTube, but that's about it, which is really fucking sad. Really fucking sad. We used to have such a healthy, thriving, bunch of clubs out there that you can kind of choose from. Even just being a promoter, there's so many options that you could have chosen from back in the day of where you went to host a party, from having it in the pub, having it in a park somewhere. You could just choose your own adventure, but nowadays that's not the case. Nowadays it isn't the case. So it's funny when you hear these Berliners complain, because like most of you guys still have clubs that are open until fucking 8 a.m. the next morning or 8 the next fucking night. Like, let's relax. It continues here. It says clubs like Renate are an essential meeting point for connection, exchange, creative expression, contributing to Berlin's international reputation. Beyond the preservation of cultural venues, more than 100 jobs will also be at risk if Renate ceases to operate. Jesus Christ, bro. 100. But to be fair as well, I'd assume if you work in a club, you don't think it's gonna last forever anyway. You do it probably as a part of a gig economy type of thing, I'd imagine. But still, people will lose their jobs, which is really heartbreaking. Renate will continue to operate at its current location while the lease ends late 2025, adding that it will continue Renate's operations either in the form of a current location or a new start. Okay, cool. So even if they get checked out of this one, they'll try and find a new club somewhere else, which might be interesting and it might freshen things up. In March 2023, Renate announced that it was teaming up with Berlin Club Els to launch a new venue in Friedrichshain called MO1. It's unclear whether the club sister venue will continue to operate. Oh yeah, true. What happened to that one actually? That was one that opened recently, isn't it? Called MO01. I remember about that. Renate is and remain a vital part of the club's culture, and we will be fighting to ensure we continue and keep it that way. So yeah, big up Renate. Hopefully they land on their feet and figure it out. Again, I haven't been in a while, but when I have been there, I've always had a good time. So big up Wilde Renate, big up Wilde Renate crew. Moving on, we have to talk a little bit about Supreme 4 2024 collection. Supreme finally dropped the archive. They finally dropped the preview. They finally gave us a sneak peek as to what we can expect from the soon to release Supreme 4 2024 collection. And the thing I love about this is a reminder to people, because I think I've been arguing with some folk, especially some Supreme people on some pages and stuff on social, about which season was the best. But hope this is a reminder to all the naysayers out there that there's no doubting that the best Supreme collections in every year are always 4. It's always 4. Fall in general across the board is the strongest month for men in general. Like, full clothing suits most of us best. I don't think a lot of us kind of dress that well in summer. So with that being said, Let's check out some of the previews on this particular Supreme preview. There's so much stuff on here that I want, so much stuff on here that I'd love to have, but the stuff on here is just yeah, it's just incredible. It's a good reminder of just the power of what they do and how they do it well. They've got this leather jacket here in collaboration, I think, with Mr. Cartoon, that people are going crazy over. There's this Scott jacket that reminds you of something some guy that I know called Kish will probably end up wearing and be a big fan of. There's a jacket, I think, somewhere around here that I was a big fan of too. Let me just actually go through the squares and we'll see everything that's on here. There's a Scotch jacket, a chevron leather down puffer that's fucking gorgeous. What's that on that collar? Is that faux fur? What is that? Is that pile? What is that on the collar there? You got quilted lambskin, metal studs, zip closure, removable fur. Okay, it's shirling. That shirling collar there as well looks absolutely fantastic. The purple looks fucking great. Actually, without the fur, it might actually look better without the fur. I'm not gonna lie, it might actually look better without the fur. What you got it? The shirling collar. I'm not gonna lie, that Scotch jacket might look better like that. Continuing on, what's that you got? Nope, you go back. So the black and the purple. Obviously, the purple is the best color out of those two there. Then you've got an S logo track jacket, which I love the look of. I love the look of this because the S almost looks like a thumbprint. How it's kind of swelled that way, it looks pretty cool. And they've got their kind of, you know, made up Supreme football team badge here as well that says world famous team. That's fucking cool, I'm not gonna lie. WFT, so big up there. And you got big Supreme here on the back, but that's a really nice tracksuit. That's a fucking really nice tracksuit. I'm sure that's inspired by some like old school soccer thing as well. And there's also matching pants to it as well, or matching track pants. So yeah, you can't hate on that. It's impossible to hate on this. That stuff is fucking fantastic. Let's go to another square. Let's go to this one. One of my favorite jackets is the entire collection. This might be one of my favorite pieces in the entire collection. It's a collaboration with BB Simon, who usually do belts, but they've collaborated with Supreme on this jacket here, which is a BB Simon work jacket. In my opinion, it's absolutely beautiful. I much prefer in the black colorway though. There's a studded version of this particular jacket in a black colorway. Also comes to this tree camo as well, which people would like. But this black colorway is so good. So good. But you know, me in a black jacket with some silver studs, I'm always for it. Is there a silver hit there at the back as well? Yeah, look at that. There's studs here towards the back too, and rivets and diamonds and shit. Nice fucking shit. I'm not mad at that in the slightest. It's got a Finchlet inside as well. It says here, courtesy of the blurb. The blurb says it's all cotton with a 3M Finchlet insulation and a quilted cotton popping. Like, oh yo 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 yo. The double knee pants I'm also a big fan of as well. They're baggy and a good fit. I'm not mad at them in the slightest. This jacket here, this fireman's jacket is absolutely sick as well. It kind of reminds me of something that Balenciaga would do. Loads of really cool distressing marks all over it. And it comes in, I think, black as well, if I'm not mistaken. If I was being nitpicky, the only thing I'd do if I did purchase this was maybe take off this badge or this placard on the back and just leave it plain. I'm fed up. I think they do it purposely, obviously, to appeal to a younger audience. But for someone like myself that still buys Supreme, I hate the fucking big and, you know, emblazoned Supreme on the back. They do everything on their pants, on their, you know, shorts, on their jackets and shit. So if I was to purchase this, the first thing I'd do is like pick this apart. This big rectangle Supreme sign on the back, I'd pick it apart a little bit and just wear it by itself, and I think it looked pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously you got the fireman's jacket here. You got this jacket, which is absolutely incredible. It reminds me of something that Zegna would made or something. It's so fucking cute. It's a suede work jacket that's been made to look like it's got you know, it's been a crocodile got killed to make it, but it's actually just a print. But the shape of it is fucking beautiful. You have to be honest. Like, Supreme are definitely snapping when it comes to the, you know, design of this what you call it, of the jackets and whatever it may be. They're absolutely killing it. But this is one of the best ones there. Let's continue. You got it featured. What's that other colorway? You got the other color featured in a blue. That blue colorway is really nice, to be fair. That navy blues color is nice. So is the brown and the black, but that navy blue colorway is not really mad at that in the slightest. I'm not gonna lie. You've got matching suede leather pants also, or suede, you know, pants in general to match the jacket. And then you kind of close that. You go back again. What else we got here? I went to see. Oh yeah, we got this as well that I'm a big fan of. This Supreme and Scott leather jacket. There's quite a few Scott items on here, isn't it? But there's this nice leather red jacket, which I hope this is like a collaboration with Tyler, because it feels like it's his favorite color as well. But this looks so fucking hard, and it also features the cheetah pattern lining on the inside. So maybe it was a nod to him. Maybe. Either way, it's absolutely buff, and I'd love a you know, love to fucking rock the shit out of that, of course. We continue on. We've also got a couple of great down jackets here that I like the look of. This particular Gore-Tex 900 field down parka I'm a big fan of. There's also this particular parka that I fucking love. 700 field down lightweight puffer parka, which is fucking banging. I think this is one that comes in like a really bright color. What color is it? That's like reminds me a little bit of that Stussy jacket that came out last year. But there's another colorway. There we go. It's this one. I think that might remind me of, actually, I think there was an old Supreme TNF that was this particular camo or something. I forgot what it was. There was something. I remember seeing this camo somewhere. This almost like iridescent camo. I'm sure there was someone who had it. Maybe it was somebody else. I don't know who actually had it. But regardless, that jacket shape is absolutely fantastic. That hood design is just something to be marbled over. I think that would even fit my big, you know, big fucking cranium. And you just got the eyes at the back. They're just darting off and trying to, you know, not lose fucking focus. But without the hood, it looks pretty cool too. Also in black, it also looks not too shabby. Obviously, the strongest colorways are that, you know, this icy blue colorway and that fucking what you call it, and that camo colorway. But unfortunately, we have to continue going. Let's see a couple more here, and then we're obviously gonna bounce and reconvene for another time. But the other things I also loved in this particular collection might be the photo tee. The Tyler Creator photo tee has finally been confirmed. I actually prefer this pose. I'm not gonna lie. As good as the other poses were that we saw on the posters, I was actually surprised. I think maybe this might be the first time it's happened where the pose that they showed you in the poster isn't the pose that's gonna be used in the actual tee. But I actually like this, especially in that purple or in that pink. That pink color is amazing. It pops so well. But yeah, that must be such a great full circle moment from going from, you know, queuing outside of the store, befriending people at work, to suddenly becoming an artist in your own like, and then having Supreme say, yeah, we put you in the photo tee. That is such a great fucking validation or acknowledgement from brands that you look up to. So big up James Jebbia, big up Supreme for hanging and doing what needs to be done. And then we continue on that. I think that's just a t-shirt, that one. Actually, let's see some a couple of the t-shirt designs are pretty cool. I'm not really mad at that. Fuck money, I love Supreme. I'm not really mad at that. Drugs with the American flag and blades in it. I'm not mad at that in the slightest. There's so much good. Oh, look at that Satan tee. Oh, that Satan tee. That font is gorgeous, bro. I don't know what that font is, but I might see if I can try and stab that typeface. That is so cool. I'm not mad at that in the slightest. We continue on. We got a couple more tees here. Maybe this is what's his name? And Eric, what's his name? Eric Dunks or whatever. That's, oh no, Weirdo. Oh, it's Weirdo Dave. Okay, cool. It's Weirdo Dave. I thought it was the other dude who had that kind of got that artwork in one of the Supreme stores that looks like gunshots. I think it's Nate Lauerman, but this is not Nate Lauerman. This is what's his face? Weirdo Dave. So big up Weirdo Dave. You got a couple of shirts there. You got a Supreme Classic t-shirt with Tara Patrick on the inside superimposed. You got this really great t-shirt, which is amazing. I think this is very politically fraught. It says Supreme cries for hell because of your aggressions and killing civilians, innocent kids and mothers and olds. And it's got the Empire State Building there judging people for what they've done. So maybe this is their political t-shirt for what's happening around the world right now. Who knows? Maybe we're projecting a little bit there. And then some other bits and pieces here which I really fucking liked was some of the bags and some of the accessories. That the bags are brilliant. This particular bag is so nice, and it's like 24 liters, so this can fit a lot of shit in there. This will be perfect for the Berlin trips and shit. I don't know what version of camo that is, but I actually don't mind that brown one. My favorite colorways might be the red and the blue. There's a blue colorway coming up that's fucking gorgeous. That's kind of like navy ultramarine blue type of thing. Is fucking gorgeous. But obviously, you know, getting a big red Supreme bag might be a lick as well, especially if you're going abroad. Maybe there's an option for it to buy it in purple or buy it in a bright color, so you could use it as a carry-on. And it's also easy to kind of keep an eye on it as well when you're away and shit. So that might be quite hard. So big up them. And then obviously some of the pouches that's also cool. I'm kind of looking out all the time for like the perfect DJ bag. There's not a lot of them out there. Duffel bag is pretty nice as well. But I'm always keeping an eye out, and I think Supreme always do a great quote-unquote DJ bag, because a DJ bag needs to be big enough to fit, like, you know, a chunky pair of headphones, another bag that's got USBs and, you know, headphone jacks inside them and shit, maybe your lip balm, whatever, little crude amounts. But you don't need a messenger bag. Sorry, you don't need a messenger bag, and you don't need a duffel bag. You need something in between. And I think Supreme has a couple of options here via their bag options that I probably would like to look at. So this messenger bag is probably a little bit too big for my needs, as you can see from the size, and it's a 7 liter. Actually, 7 liter isn't even that big, you know. I'm not gonna lie, that's not even that big. So maybe that messenger bag might be the lick. There's a messenger bag there, and there's also a waist bag, which might be the best option if you're gonna need a DJ bag, because it's actually quite, you know, it's got some depth in it, as Brendan would say there. So I'm not mad at that in the slightest. And then there's another bag here that I thought I saw that I really liked. There's a waist bag. Maybe it's a camera bag. Maybe it's a camera bag that I thought that'd be pretty cool, especially if you've got headphones that kind of fold in themselves. That might actually work. I don't think Sennheisers would work. And there's also another mini side bag also that I'm sure all the kids are going to be fucking ecstatic over. But yeah, and there's a leather backpack as well. It looks fucking phenomenal. I'm not mad at that in the slightest. I think that, does that come in red too, or does that just come in black and green? Oh yeah, black, green and brown, but still good nonetheless. Oh, that leather, that brown one like that, that's a very nice bag. That might actually work well as a handbag. I'm sure there's some girls out there that probably might have actually check and see if they can carry one of these duffel bags as a handbag, because it actually might work. I'm not even gonna lie. So the duffel bag is there. There's also a waist bag that they feature also that I'm not mad at, and obviously a shoulder bag as well that people would like to go festivals with. And you've also got a Polartec sling as well. There's a couple more here in orange and red. And then going back to some of the accessories that everyone's creaming their pants over. The first one being the squat rack. The squat rack is fucking incredible, I'm not gonna lie. Or this was actually called the power rack. This is so fucking good. Imagine having this in your local gym, or in your home gym. I'd love to have something like this in my home gym. I would love to have something like this in my home gym. So it says True Grip Power Rack weight set, includes power rack, adjustable bench, 45 pound plates, no, 45 pound barbell. Also include plates, 10s, 25s, 35s, 45s, and 1 pound. So pretty fucking sick. Bumper plate sold as a set. But these are so good, man. This is, I don't know how much it's going to be. I'm assuming it's going to be probably thousands. But this is an amazing squat rack. It's all painted red. It's got big, massive Supreme logo here on the bench. And Supreme logo actually machined into it as well. Supreme logo all over the plates, like Eleco fucking plates and shit. Nice clips as well. They're in black. But the main barbell is red here, but then the ends of it are black as well. So it's fucking cool, I'm not gonna lie. I would actually like to see how it kind of wears down after use. I'm sure all the paint comes off on the actual barbell. That actually look pretty cool. I'm curious to see what that looks like after I think maybe a couple of days of working and shit. You know how it is when you're one of these CrossFit people. They're also selling a saxophone. Can you believe that? Supreme are selling a saxophone here. You got Supreme Selma Alto saxophone for Supreme with a custom etched graphics, keys as well. As you can see here, there's a custom etched graphic here. God almighty, that's fucking gorgeous. That is fucking gorgeous. That's actually something that you might actually put on display. You're not gonna actually play it, the saxophone. That is so fucking beautiful. Look at the engraving here. You got Supreme written down here. You got this amazing kind of rose etching there. You got the Supreme label right there as well. It's absolutely fucking beautiful. You've also got a bike by Brooklyn Machine Works. I'm a big fan of. I'm not too sure if Pharrell still invested in them, but I remember back in the day Pharrell was invested in this company, Brooklyn Machine Works, that make, you know, great fucking cruisers and bikes and BMXs in general. And this is one of theirs. Oh, it's a 24. I actually prefer 26s or 29s. I'm not gonna lie, 24 is a bit small, but still, especially if someone my size or my height, but it's still pretty nice. Brooklyn Machines Work 24 steel handrail, or hand tool, sorry, Park Ride V4 with custom Supreme components, Shimano brakes, Shimano Saint cranks, and just the other bits and pieces here. It comes in all black, which is probably my favorite color, I'm not gonna lie. You got these really big fat tires here that remind me of my charged stove bike that I'm still angry I don't have. I might check eBay and see someone selling a second-hand one, but I'm so pissed I don't have my charged stove anymore. But this is a really fucking nice bike. And then on the next one, I think it also comes in red, which I'm disappointed in. It's not completely red. It looks like the suspension in the front, or the forks in the front of the suspension, are black, and the rest of it's red. But I wish it would all come in red too. I'm assuming to get red tires might be pretty hard, or might increase the cost and shit. But that's that. You've also got a Supreme Jacob & Co 14 karat gold Zodiac pendant with all the different Zodiac signs. That's going to be really fucking popular. I actually only noticed this now, but these are all the different Zodiac signs, right? And you know people are fucking super hard into that gobbledygook, so everyone's going to be trying to buy one of these. Aries, Gemini, Leo, Libra, Sagittarius, Aquarius, Pisces, Capricorn, Scorpion, or Scorpion. This is like Virgo, Cancer, and Taurus. So people are gonna fucking crazy for these when they eventually drop. But yeah, I think all that astrology shit is fucking lame. It also comes in silver, which I'm a big fan of. You've also got this, which is absolutely insane. I've never seen something like this before in my life. It's a vinyl player, but instead of it being a turntable, it's essentially something that you plug. Like, it's a weird gizmo to describe it. It kind of fits like a paperclip or something, and that's basically how you play. And then obviously the needle arm kind of retracts out from the side, which is pretty cool. I'm assuming you have to plug it into some sort of setup or some sort of speakers in order to kind of hear it. I doubt there's an inbuilt speaker on there. And it's called a Soundburger, actually, which is pretty cool. It's a Supreme Audio-Technica Soundburger portable 2-speed turntable with a printed logo, Bluetooth compatible for wireless play to speakers or headphones. Okay, cool. So you can play it through headphones wirelessly. That's pretty sick. It's a good way to kind of be able to listen to vinyl, because I've got so much vinyl at home, but I don't have turntables. So maybe this is quite a good way. You get to play it and you get to link it to your headphones and shit, which I'm not mad at. There's a Supreme Swarovski crystal box cutter that looks fucking gorgeous. This is not going to get sold in London. You know how it is, or what it is when it comes to fucking knife crime here in London. There's absolutely no way they're selling this in London. No fucking way. But it's actually beautiful anyway. I'm not going to lie. There's a black crystal, red crystal, and obviously the one with multicolor. That multicolor one might be mine. That'd be something that I'll be into. There's a massive, chunky, huge, impressive looking Supreme fucking ashtray. It's a Murano ashtray. I'm sure Murano is a probably popular brand that makes ashtrays, but if you look at it a bit, if you zoom into it, why does it kind of look like there's pictures included in it? Maybe it's a reflection of the studio they were taking the pictures off of, but I feel like the inside has like pictures that are like etched inside it or something. I don't know. It looks fucking cool though. In this red sort of colorway as well. Includes a certificate from the glassmaster Alessandro Mazzurati. So I'm assuming this is going to be really expensive and it's going to sell out too. It's handmade in Italy. Fucking beautiful. There's also a Supreme blanket that's also fucking impressive, with Kate Moss printed on there as well from her photo teeth back in the day. That looks absolutely incredible. I don't like that in the slightest. That actually might look good on the wall as well. You can put it on the floor, but this one might look good on the wall also. There's a Supreme baby pedal. What's that? What's a baby pedal? A baby pedal. Oh, is that for music? I'm assuming when you're playing the guitar or something. I guess that might be one of those things. Crybaby. It's a Crybaby pedal there. There's also a dirt bike, motorized one that you can play with and shit, with a rider on top that's wearing all Fox gear with Supreme all over it, and a Fox and the Supreme branded scrambler or dirt bike, I'm assuming. There's also a Pantone bike as well. No, there's a Pantone book, sorry, Formula Guide, I'm assuming. You've also got a that's awesome, a miner's lunchbox, which is impressive because most likely the only people that are going to be wearing these or carrying these around will be fucking influencers who are not going anywhere, right? Who are not going to a mining job. They're going to go and sit in front of their laptop. So it'll be funny to see influencers walking around with this, like, you know, working class downtrodden lunchbox thing, thinking they're cool. Oh, this is amazing. There's a Frazzetta plate set as well. The Frazzetta fucking artwork on some of the jerseys, actually something I should have probably checked and shown you. Actually, let me actually go and check that now, because that stuff is fucking hard. This whole collection is crazy. The Frazzetta faux shirling line jacket, come on man, fucking crazy. Look at that artwork. Look at that fucking artwork. Jesus Christ, that looks fucking gorgeous. There's 3 horsemen there. 3. Fucking incredible. That looks so good. All cotton 13-ounce denim jacket with printed graphic fill and faux shirling lining. Look at that, bro. Quilted taffeta sleeve lining, buttons front enclosure, and original artwork by Frank Frazzetta. Absolutely incredible. Obviously you see the nice lining on the denim jacket there. I think there's matching pants to it as well. Yep, there's matching pants. There's also a track jacket. Fuck, you know, this is so hard. It comes in green and black. That black one is fucking calling my name. And I think there's a shirt that matches it too, if I'm not mistaken. There's a Frazzetta shirt too that they've included in the collection as well that I probably haven't seen here. But going back to some of the accessories, So you got the guitar pedal, you got the RC bike, you got the Miners box, you got another thing I really like as well, which is this rolling tote bag. That's fucking incredible. I'm assuming a lot of people, especially if you go to IKEA and shit, you're gonna love one of these. If you go to a sample sale, these are really handy. You got a 3-foot Grinch as well, you put in front of a Christmas tree. You got a steamer for your buns and shit. You got a fake chopped cheese sandwich, which will be pretty cool to have in places. You've got a salt and pepper mill grinder set as well to use. There's patches that say fuck 'em all over it. I'm not mad at. There's La Rocha water glasses as well that are going to be really hyped as well. Sold in a pack of 6. CDW punch pins. So many good things in here, man. Pelican micro cases, spirit levelers, dog jackets, which are going to be really popular. I'm assuming a bunch of people are going to go fucking hard for the fucking dog jackets. They're so good. You got the tree camo with the free M labeling here as well, so you can spot your dog from afar if they decide to run off somewhere. It comes in black as well, and it's Gore-Tex. You got another BB Simon belt as well that I'm not mad at in the slightest. Big up BB Simon. You got a studded Ranger belt there, that's fucking hard. It also comes in black. You've got a BB Simon leather lighter case as well, and you've also got the Air Force One mids that I'm also a big fan of, come in black and white. And you've also got this set, Bones thermal set, that looks fucking incredible. What's that scarf? It's a bandana, MOP bandana. You got another fucking micro blade that probably won't come out in London, or if it does, you're gonna have to show your ID to purchase it. There's a cash paperweight keychain. Oof, too many good stuff. Oh, look at that. There's a fucking, yeah, I need this bottle opener. It's a Supreme bottle opener keychain. I need a bit of that as well. Definitely gonna have to check out that and see if I can purchase this. And a few other bits and bobs as well that I fucking love. And there's a drugs deck as well that I'm not mad at in the slightest. Tara Patrick deck as well. I thought they would have that Supreme for, oh, they got Mr. There's a Mr. Cartoon one too. That's gonna do numbers too. That Mr. Cartoon and that drugs one are definitely two of the ones I'd probably purchase and take. So yeah, big up Supreme, man. I think this is all due to come out tomorrow or the day after. No, probably tomorrow, definitely Thursday. That should be the day that all of this stuff drops, so definitely check this out if you're that way inclined. Too many good things there. There's also the lookbook that features all the stuff that I've seen here, what the models are wearing, you know, making it look a certain way, which you obviously have to love. That BB Simon jacket is hard. This varsity jacket I didn't feature, but this is a really nice design. Incredible design here with most of the, I don't know, what do you call it, appliques all over the sleeves as opposed to the back and the front, which is pretty cool. I've not seen a design like this actually, a varsity jacket. Instead of having all of this, you know, on the front of the jacket, on the back where it traditionally is, you've got most of it all around the sleeves as well, so it creates this really nice kind of look. You got this nice like balloon type of shape with the varsity jacket there, and that colorway is fucking beautiful. This obviously green jacket I'm a big fan of that I mentioned previously. There's this jacket also that features this print. I actually didn't mention this before, but this is amazing. The print that makes it look all ripped up and shit, that's fucking cool. So all this stuff is just printed on the jacket to make it look that way, but it's not actually on there. I think it comes with matching jeans also. You got this faux pearl jacket. The purple jacket's great. That denim set is fucking fantastic. That down jacket obviously needs to be copped. There's a box logo is also meant to be there as well. Snow White jacket, which is fucking incredible. I think this is a rip from a Ralph Lauren jacket, if I'm not mistaken. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, like fucking incredible. Look at these stuff, man. Too much good shit. Look how good that Frazetta jacket looks like. Fucking hell, mate. That Frazetta jacket looks fucking incredible, doesn't it? Look at that. Jesus Christos. That might be a sleeper. A lot of people are gonna probably purchase this. That might be a slice sleeper there. Nice vest, the camo jacket that I mentioned that I fucking love. And yeah, some good shit here, man. As per usual, Supreme doing what they do best. When it comes to fall collections, no one comes close. Pandemic business, that's a hard jacket, I'm not gonna lie. Pandemic business, that's a fucking hard jacket. Some of the finishing on the edges is a bit rough, I'm not gonna lie, but the jacket itself, it looks fucking crazy. Pandemic business, you know, I'm not mad at that in the slightest. And there's a nice little Bottega flip there as well that I'm not too mad at also. So big up Supreme, great shit always. That denim jacket is actually quite hard too. That denim jacket is very hard, I'm not gonna lie. It comes with matching jeans also, so I'm sure people are gonna go crazy for that when that eventually does drop. fireman's jacket there too, and all of that good stuff. So big up Supreme, always great shit. More to drop. I'm assuming more to drop soon. I am assuming. Anyways, my friends, that is it for now. That has been episode number 809 of the Action Zinger Show, as per usual. If it's your first time tuning into the show, you see what you like what you see, you know what to do. Like the stream down below, that's all you have to do. You have to press the like button down below. Don't be stingy, don't be lame. Like the stream down below. For those of you watching or listening to the audio side of the podcast, I'm going to play my tune today. My tune today actually is going to be a bit of a weird one. It's going to be this: Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars is going to be my tune today. It's from their project that's due to come out soon. I'm not too sure if Lady Gaga's doing this as a favor because she loves Bruno and she wants to help him out in terms of making sure he doesn't get swindled for all this money he owes the fucking casino. But it's a really good record. They sing back to back on it. They sound fucking incredible. It's a nice ballad, essentially. It's called Die With A Smile. It's fucking incredible. I really recommend you check it out. I forgot how good, Lady Gaga sings, but it's a good reminder when you hear her on the record again. So my tune today will be Die With A Smile featuring Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. You'll be able to hear it under my voice if you listen to the audio side of the pod, but if you're not, it'll go to black, and I'll see you guys again very soon. For now, take care, my friends. Peace.